Welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are back with another one of the Blindside challenges. And yeah, this one's pretty cool. Wait, I don't know what the number to this one is. Hang on, I'll look this up real fast. Um, but I like this one. I really, honestly, this one was a lot more fun. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Is it? Is it this? Wait. Cancel. I don't want to. Do, 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 do. I think it is this one. It is 79193. Sorry about that. Usually I have all this stuff kind of written down. I have all of the numbers written down and crossed off from when I actually made the patterns, but then I kind of don't know which one went to which video, and so I'm kind of stupid like that. But yeah, okay, so this one, what is it about this that I like? It is there are big swatches of long rows and big diamonds, and diamonds seem to go really fast, and that's kind of awesome. Um, and then you got these other little kind of fiddly bits that make an intense pattern to it. Um, let's talk about what maybe wasn't as fun. So when I first picked up the string, I had totally forgotten because I made the patterns last week. And so this week I'm busy trying to make the bracelets. And I picked up the string and I was like, oh, it's a small one. There's, so little string. And then I pulled up the pattern. I'm like, oh, right. It's single stranded because we were trying to fit more pattern in the bracelet than what we would have gotten if we went with the double strands. And that kind of hit me like, oh. So the video is actually sped up faster than what we've been doing these. So this is like 4 times as fast versus 3 times, because it actually took like 2.5 hours, a little more than 2.5 hours to actually make the bracelet. Um, yeah, I had to do the math for that. It was like um, at because I broke the video into pieces because I get up, go get a drink, go toilet, have dinner, whatever. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on that I ended up, piecing it all together and make this video. Um, this was a lot easier, like when it comes to like take a look at the pattern and then just go to work. Oh, I may have a diamond. I don't need to keep looking at the pattern to know how to make a diamond. That was that, just continue on. When I get towards the end of the diamond, it's like, okay, where does it cut off at? What color comes around or stops at it? That kind of thing. So that aspect definitely made it go faster. It's just more knots. When you do single stranded, um, and this is 16 strings versus a lot of the other bracelets we've been making are 12 string. There's just more knots here. It comes down to it's more work. And yeah, I have to say though, overall, I really like the pattern. The only thing that I would say that I maybe could have done different, it's purple, red, orange, yellow, right? So like kind of the hot colors plus a purple. But the purple I chose was really vibrant, very much like a hot color. And because the purple and the red were really kind of close to each other, it's kind of, especially in the video, hard to differentiate. In the bracelet, I got the bracelet here in my hand. In the bracelet, you can totally tell there's two different things. If you really look at it from a distance, they do sort of blend in together. But yeah, maybe I would have gone with just a bit more contrast, um, to really help bring out the pattern more. But that said, I still love it. I still think one really came out really cool. I really think um, this is something to try. Like honestly. Um, it's still got some zigzags and it's still, not a beginner's bracelet. But that said, um, out of like some of the other ones that we've done, yeah, this is a lot easier than some. So yeah, this is easier than yesterday's, right? Yesterday's was the red panda thing. This is by far, this is easier than that. So by far. And their segment, you can, I worked on that whole left hand side. Now I can work on the whole right hand side. That helps to speed things along, which is really nice. Um, yeah. No, overall, this one was pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys end up making these, um, you can tag me and like if you post it like on Instagram or something, you can tag me. I always like to kind of see what other people are making out of it, especially if you try different colors. I really want to see it. Like I always get curious, like what would it look like if we had done, you know, anything else. I always like seeing that. And again, this is a blindsided creation, so um, almost all of these so far have been sent in by Minute Craft. Which, if you don't already follow her, go follow her over on Instagram. Um, and yeah, you guys can submit these things too. All you got to do is let me know how many strings it is, because when I start out the whole project, I like to have my template ready, and what the pattern number is and which website the pattern number is from, because there's so far Minute Craft has been sending me stuff from Bracelet Book, but friendshipbracelets.net, they've got a lot of patterns too. We can play with theirs. Kind of like their website, but whatever. They're both good. Um, but yeah, submit some, and we'll do another week of blindsided creations if I get enough submitted. Because I kind of like these. I kind of like the whole notion. Like if I pick out a pattern, like there might be a specific idea in my head of what I'm doing. The blindsided creations are about whimsically looking at it and coming up with an idea that makes sense, um, from a pattern that I've never really laid eyes on prior. And yeah, there's something kind of cool about that. And being on the spot and trying to come up with something on the spot. And then the diamonds and rainbows thing, right? That was for my blindsided creation, where after I thought about it, I wanted to explore other versions, because as interesting as the original was, I saw the possibility if there you could do even more things. So, you know, there's no telling where an idea can come from and where it can go to, when it comes to the craft. And yeah, I encourage you guys to help participate in that. And who knows, it could turn into another week based on one pattern, because that's totally a thing that I do. And yeah. Yeah, so I kind of like how the orange kind of came around and makes those two little things on the side. I don't know. It's just interesting. And then it goes and does it again. Again, I'm really glad with the choice of going with the thinner ones. As much as I knew that that would be a lot more work and it would take a lot longer, um, it comes down to the fact that I was able to fit more of the pattern in. And I am kind of thankful that I made the choices that I did. Um, had I done this in the doubled up string, I think that pattern thing at the top where the orange does that would have been the only time it happened, and it would have been cut off somewhere in this second one. So we have one full more of this repetitive, whatever it is, that happens before going into a big diamond and flipping it back the other way. So yeah, I'm kind of, not even just kind of, I am happy that I chose to go this route. Is much as more work as it is, um, sometimes it's just worth um, taking the time to make the pattern really nice. So yeah. So yeah, it was like, I didn't add in the seconds or anything, but it was like 2 hours and 38 minutes, I guess, when you add up all of the video pieces together. But then when you think about like how much my day was spent, much more because, little breaks here and there, getting a drink. Oh yeah, I had a few times where the ends of the string would just get tangled around itself. I have to like take those knots out because I don't like when you're trying to drag the string through and it hangs up for that little bit right at the end. Like that's just crazy. I hate it. So yeah, there's a couple times I do that here, and I did it up into the screen so that you could see like why there was a pause in the action. I could have been off camera. Most of my hands are off camera, but yeah, this is pretty cool. So yeah, if you are a big fan of these making it videos, you got to let me know. Um, I know there's a couple people that like it, and so I've been trying to build the playlist for it. But I'm really kind of on the fence. Like, am I gonna continue to keep doing these? Like, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one, guys. And I have a lot of plans. It won't be just these videos. I have some plans. I think I talked about it yesterday. I have some plans for making some more of the smaller bags, and maybe some bags that are big enough to hold a cell phone. And I want to um, generate the patterns so that way I can order the floss and work on those. Those will probably be live stream material, um, so that way I can keep up with the daily videos. Because uh, if you remember, like a lot of my advanced tutorials and the bag tutorials, those were like once a week because that's what it took to um, work out the bag, make the videos, do the whole thing. It was I could only produce once a week, which was hard. That was super crazy. So the thought is I get the string in, have it all counted for and whatever into its groups, and then um, each Saturday at 10 p.m. Singapore time. Got to plug my own work, right? Um, do the live stream and just work on the bag and show you guys how that is done and how it comes along. And then the week goes back to doing these things, either making it or pattern making or whatever it is that we come up with. So yeah. And if you have ideas for videos, there is a section for that in the Discord. So you should join us over there. And yeah, we kind of talk about um, ideas and things that we could do and stuff over there. So yeah, do that for sure. Yeah, and you can totally see like I took advantage of like the segmenting, like this created a whole long row for this one line right here. Um, because I took care of everything on the left, and then bam, that just comes along. It just speeds things along, just makes it faster, which is nice. Yeah, and you can kind of see, unlike yesterday's video, you can see like I kind of found a rhythm that was working. Work on the area here, then work on the area here. Um, if I'm on the left side, stay on the left side, that kind of stuff. Like there is a distinct sort of pattern or distinct kind of way that I'm working this thing that is very thought out. What's the word for that? There's a word for it. I don't know. But yeah, I have I have a plan in mind and I am running with it. See, I went to the right and I'm going to go to the right again. Then I go to the left and I go to the left again. It's just makes things go so much quicker. It really does. I don't know. You guys have to try it. It's that whole, like, I kind of grew up with the whole old sayings and stuff. Like my mom was a big fan of that kind of stuff. The stitch in time saves nine. I don't know what 9 seconds, 9 minutes, whatever. But certain things that you can do that just helps speed up just a small portion when repeated often enough, saves up a lot of time. So yeah, kind of dig this one. So yeah, this is essentially this is the halfway point. This is the big diamond in the center that um, sends all the colors back the other way. I used to be a big fan of putting a diamond right in the center. I used to go like completely crazy, random, whatever, put a diamond in, and then try to make the both ends match by trying to reverse the whole direction of how the other side went, which took a lot of mental work. Like I didn't have it drawn out or anything crazy. I was just trying to figure it out on the fly and try to see if I could remember what I had done so that way I could kind of reverse it on the other side. And that was a big thing for me for a while. Like that was and people loved them. Those bracelets, they people would see various things in it and be like, "Wow, that's got a robot or that's got a, whatever it was." And um I loved that. I thought that was, when people, it's like, when you look in a cloud and you see a dog, right? It's not really a dog. It just happens to be what you see in it. Like people were doing that with my bracelets. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool stuff. I wish there was way, my software that I use for editing videos, there's no, I don't think there's any color correction. I've tried looking, I'll try it before I'm done. I'll see if I can kind of do something to make it so the red and the purple are a little bit more distinct. Because on my monitor, as I watch this, they really are too close. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure what I would do. Is it like saturation that changes the colors? There's what? Saturation, there's tint. I don't know. I'm not really good at that part of the aspect. I can make videos. That's about it. Oh, and there is something kind of fun. Like when the pattern turned around on this, like it's the same sort of stuff. It's just reversed. And there's something interesting about when the pattern is actually going in the other direction. It's not necessarily more difficult, it's just very different. And yeah, I enjoy when it does that. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah, you can see now I'm back to the whole doing the left first. That was like, I found that to be kind of easy early on. I adopted it and I'm running with it. I'm not even sure why I choose the left first. It would seem like doing the right-handed knot for the long row would make kind of more sense. So if I did the right-handed first, than coming across. I don't know, but it worked. I got it done. So yeah. See, another one of those little knots. I'm not quite even sure how those little knots come about. Like, as it's pulling up through the other strings, is it twisting, doing something to it? I don't get it. It's annoying though. It definitely slows down progress. And be all happy in the moment, and then yeah. So this time, I wasn't watching Disney. I was actually watching some YouTube videos for just whatever random ones looked interesting for the day. There was nothing. I didn't do any of the long ones. I didn't do the murder one, mystery thingies, whatever that is, the casual criminalist. I didn't do any of that this time. Um, but yeah, so there might have been a few little places where there's a pause where I'm like skipping the commercials or starting the next video. But I tried to be quick about it. I didn't want there to be gaps in the video. Mind you, at this speed, I think it would be barely a blip. So yeah. This is like one of the fastest videos I've ever sped up. Well, I say that. Maybe some of the old ones might go as fast or faster. I don't remember. I didn't have like a set thing going on back when. Now I kind of have a 3 is the norm, like that's my, it makes the videos about the right length. It gives me enough time to talk about stuff and, you know, kind of cool. Oh, speaking of talking about stuff, let me thank my Patreon supporters who make this stuff happen. Um, Honestly, without their support, I wouldn't have the cameras and the nice microphone over here. So thank you very much, guys. Normally, I like to put those at the end of the video, but these ones end so abruptly. I never know. Like, I struggle to even say my last thing at the right time because it just goes and then it's over. It's so different from my other videos. So yeah. But thank you guys. And yeah. So this is in the little orange squares, which are like the first part, and then it goes into the diamonds. So yeah, we're getting towards the end here. This is cool. What do we got? We got another thing says there's like 6 minutes left. So yeah. I have to admit, I'm almost tempted in remaking the video or remaking the bracelet, but with some different colors. Something, I don't know. I don't know, because you need 4 colors, right? It's purple, red, orange, and yellow. I'm not sure what I could choose that would be larger contrasts, you know. 'Cause there are 3 colors, right? You can skip on the color wheel to have 3 colors. But 4, 2 of them have to be touching, and that's the thing. But yeah, for 16 strings, this is not bad. This is 16 strings was like what my normal patterns were, but I always doubled up the floss just because it made it thicker and they were, made it a good size bracelet. This is really almost kind of dainty. Not overly, but it's small. I mean, I suppose I would wear it. It's not that bad. Putting it on my wrist and looking at it, it doesn't look bad. I definitely like the colors. It's they may be close, but I really like the colors themselves. Yeah. So overall, not bad. I mean, 2.5 hours for a bracelet, right? That's not a lot, right? Trying to think back to like my early days, like how long did it used to take it to make a bracelet? And I don't know. I could make a couple in an afternoon, and I would go off to various concerts and stuff and sit and make bracelets. Back when, back when I could just sit on the lawn with a clipboard and not end up standing up with my back aching and miserable. Like the joys of being young, right? Um, yeah. Now I have a nice chair, desk set up, with the easel set to the right height to make things easy. Like, yeah. So I already mentioned the fact that there's a place on Discord for suggestions of like blindside creations, but you can suggest other stuff too. If you have a bracelet that you've worn to the point that the tassel bits have worn off or something, and you don't know what the pattern was, there's a good chance I can recreate your pattern for you. Um, I've done a lot of, um, bracelet patterns from the photos in the past. And I suspect that's probably going to be coming up soon as well. I have a huge collection of photos that I've saved from various sources. And yeah, I wouldn't mind kind of going through those because a lot of those were just really personal. Like I just thought it was a cool looking bracelet and wanted to take my take on it. So yeah, that could become a thing as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And we are getting towards the end. This is where the orange comes in, and there's just a few rows after that. So thanks for hanging around this long. If you haven't already, please click like. And if you haven't, maybe subscribe. That would be cool. Trying to think of anything else I should talk about really quick before this ends, and I can't. My my brain is just like, what? So I really appreciate you guys hanging out this long. It means a lot. We're trying to get the watch hours up so that way we can get the channel monetized and then we can start doing more giveaways. That's a big goal of mine. Plus, I want a new camera. This camera I want changed up. So, yeah, we're working towards that. So, yeah. That one come in? Yeah. Ooh, we're getting closer now. I'm like itching to say my line, but I don't know how much time there is. There it is. There it is, guys. So, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.